nutshell where you are and how important self-esteem is.
Well, let me just start by saying this. First of all, let me give you a little brief synopsis of how we kind of ended up here.
All right.
In 2004, I got silicone butt injections because I wanted a larger butt.
You wanted a larger butt. Okay.
I wanted a larger butt because when I was a child, you know how we all have something that we're teased about? That I was always kind of teased about having a flat butt. So when I was a very young child, I always said to myself, when I get some money, I'm going to buy me some butt.
So this was about 10 years ago.
This was in 2004.
Yeah,
so about 10 years ago, yeah.
And so self-esteem, how would you define your self-esteem
Well,
then?
actually, when I got the injections, I never thought I had a self-esteem issue. I never even thought it was about self-esteem because like yourself, that has been my job on this earth for a long time, is empowering women because I've been doing that mind, body, and spirit. Making women look beautiful on the outside, but giving them spiritual input on the inside, too.
And so you never really connected
I
the dots.
never, you know what, and let me tell you what's so interesting about that is that my favorite song by INNERview was Video. I'm not the average girl from your video.
Oh my goodness.
I don't need no silicone. I prefer my own. What God gave me is just fine. That was my national anthem.
But yet still you felt incomplete.
But yet and still, let me tell you how it happened though. I never went out to look for it. I was 39 when someone walked into my salon. I owned a salon at this time.
Okay.
Someone walked into my salon. She had an appointment with me to have her hair done. She had a young lady with her. And she was like, oh, I do butt injections. And I was like, girl, you lying. Oh, my God. Girl, God sent you here. No, honestly. No,
I believe you.
Honestly, that's my mind was like, oh, I was 39 years old and I had made buku money.
All right.
So had I wanted to go really get a butt, I could have really went and gotten one. But when it came to me, I was like, girl, I've always wanted that. I've been saying since I was 7 years old I was going to get some butt. And I thought it was like a gift from God in some kind of a strange way. Like we can do sometimes.
Yes,
you know, we call everything God or the devil. You know, we always playing in between the God and the devil. But at that time, I really felt like it was a sign like God loved me. I got all this favor. God sent a pumper right to me. Yeah, honestly, that's how I felt. And within a week, I was at this woman's house.
Not at the doctor's office.
And I knew she wasn't a doctor. Not in a doctor's office. I knew she wasn't a doctor. But let me tell you how the lines was crossed on that in that for me because I've been enhancing women since I was 17. So in my mind, enhancing. I mean, hair extensions.
Because you're hairstylist.
Hair extensions.
So you thought, well, I've done it out of my house.
Yeah.
Hairstylists do it out of their house.
You don't even think about the lines that are being crossed. Because I had already crossed so many myself. Not in a illegal kind of way, but if state board came in some cases, it would have been illegal. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even think about it being illegal. She never told me it was illegal. I never thought even about it being illegal. I never even thought about it really being silicone.
All right.
Because I was thinking about silicone for years. Don't need no silicone. Hadn't even put the two together. I'm so busy thinking about silicone breast injections, or breast implants, not even thinking about the silicone for my butt. And at the time, too, as I look back at that time, I was going through some emotional stuff.
I was going to ask you, were you in a relationship?
I had just went through a breakup.
Were you feeling rejected? Were you feeling ugly? Were you feeling...
I don't know if I even knew to feel those things at that time, but only looking back and to ask myself, what were you thinking around that time?
It's called hindsight.
Right.
Wow.
What were you thinking around that time? Around that time, I had just gone through a breakup. Around that time, it was just all kind of, I was thinking about selling the salon because it was just like becoming overwhelming and draining my spirit.
So you were at a crossroads.
Yeah, yes.
So what happened in 2004 after getting this injection? Was it just one injection?
No, I went and got the injection, actually 2 times. The first time I went and got them, it was fine. The second time it was fine too, because I was actually supposed to go for 4 sessions. 4 times, which would mean like 4 months. You go once each month. And after the second set of injections, something spoke to me. Like an epiphany. It was like, what are you doing? Apryl, for real? You allow somebody to inject something in your body, you have no idea what it is. You have no idea. So really? And I was like, oh God, I ain't doing that no more. But I didn't realize.
So you stopped at the second
injection? All
right. And then what happened?
And at the time, I thought, in that moment that God had spared me, you know. But I didn't realize, no, girl, your life is already changing right now. As we speak, your life is changing. And I had no idea. But maybe the third injection would have killed me. Because people die from it all the time. But after that, I started to have problems and complications, and you know, and I have an HMO. And, you know, your HMO kind of, you know, dicks you around from, you know, doctor to doctor, and the doctor saying, no, we can't remove it, because I had it actually injected in my body.
Were you afraid to let them know that you did it
first time?
illegally?
Oh, yeah. When the first sign after I got the injections was hardness. I started to feel hardness in my butt. And I called the young lady who had did it. I was like, what is that you're injecting in my body? And she was like, it's silicone. I put it in my hips, and, you know, I'm not having any problems. And at the time, I was like, well, mine is getting hard. And she was like, well, you can come and get the product and take it to anywhere. I mean, it's not, you know, anything I'm doing illegal or anything. I wouldn't put anything bad in your body, because I put it in my body. And around that time, I was just so afraid in that moment to call my doctor, who looks just like you. So can you imagine me going to a doctor who looks just like you know, like a mother or elder, you know, looking at you saying, you did what? You did right.
What's wrong with you?
So I was more afraid of that, for her to look at me and say, April, I know you did not. Not you, April. Not you. Because I'm the, you know, I was the one, I was for self-esteem and love yourself. And so it's like, not me. How did I get... Really me, you know. So, but the second symptom was it would start to discolor.
Now, did you show this to anybody?
Yeah,
you did?
My kids knew. My children, I have two daughters,
all right.
22 and 23. They knew. I mean, my lovers knew. I mean, everybody knew. Everybody knew I was suffering too, but just not how bad I was suffering.
Were you in pain?
That's an understatement. I lived 5 years in excruciating pain.
Now, let's kind of fast forward.
Okay.
When did the tragedy of losing the limbs?
And that happened in 2011.
So from 2004 to 2011, you lived in a lot of pain.
No, from 2000, maybe around 2007 to 2011, because the pain came in 2007.
Now, audience, Apryl.
Yes.
Lost both her arms. And what else?
My feet, and my butt cheeks.
And your butt cheeks. What a price to pay.
What a price to pay.
Now, did it all happen at one time?
Yes.
All at one time?
Well, what happened was I was rushed to the hospital, because I had been trying to fight to get it out. I had just went to surgery in February to have it removed in 2011 of February, and they couldn't remove it. So they was like, well, we couldn't remove it, and they just sent me home. So in June of 2011, I ended up with a staph infection, rushed to the hospital, 24 hours to live. 24 hours to live. And in that 24 hours they gave me to live, all I could think about is, in 25 hours, I won't be in pain no more. I'll be out of pain. I won't be suffering. I didn't think about my children, my mother. I was just like, I'll finally
be free. Now, what pulled you back from the ledge?
What pulled me back from the ledge was spirit. Honestly, it was spirit, because once they gave me the 24 hours to live, they put me under to try to start fighting the, you know, infection. Yeah, just, you know, trying to fight the infection. And actually, the medication that saved my life, this is the side effect. The limbs had nothing to do with the silicone. Not in that way. It's a side effect from the medication. Yes. Which could have been a
So when you went in the hospital, it was to remove the buttocks?
The butt cheeks.
The butt cheeks. And then the medication for the pain?
No, I had gone to the hospital to have it removed in February of 2011. They couldn't do it. Then I got sick in June of 2011, where it forced them to do it because I had a staph infection and I was dying. So they had to go in there and start pulling. And I had gone to that hospital, you know, 5 or 6 other times, you know, but I was dead enough finally for somebody to say, let's try.
You know, I'm sitting here.
Let's try.
You can see it on my face, the shock. But what's really going on in my mind, Apryl, for years, I would open up my keynote presentations. I would open up my seminars. And the first thing I would say, Apryl, is, I'm so glad I don't look like what I've been through. And there's a gospel song out now with that title. But for years, I was saying that. And as I'm looking at you, And as we talked and engaged before the interview,
Mm-hmm.
I kept thinking to myself, you look nothing like what you've been through.
Wow.
And we're gonna continue this interview. We're gonna have a part 2, maybe a part 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to stay tuned because we're gonna get into the part of your resiliency, your joy for life, your optimism, your desire that God would use you for a higher purpose to empower other women, to be on display, to say, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
And not just the silicone. Don't do anything.
Anything to alter.
Not even in a plastic surgery kind of way. Anything that we do that we look for outside of ourselves to validate ourselves is never going to work. I don't care what it is.
Yes.
If it does not come from within, it is without.
Ah!
And if it's without, it's not going to do anything for you but send you to those places to get injections and send you in these bad relationships and send you into these big mansions that you can't afford and send you into these car notes and just all the stuff that we do trying to find some form of validation just to say that we are enough.
Yes.
Because we really are enough.
Because we really are enough.
We really are enough.
I am
really
so
are.
excited about me. I was praying all the way over here, like, Lord, let me say the right thing. Lord, let me not be sad. You know, and you are lifting me up. I'm telling you, this is just so incredible.
It's all in divine.
It's all in divine order. And I'm so excited that you understand this principle, that the pain that we go through is the price that we pay, that we would be used, that we can have pain and peace at the same time. So you are physically out of pain?
I'm physically out of pain.
But do you ever have emotion? I'm sure you had a roller coaster of emotional pain afterwards.
I still have an emotional
You
roller coaster of emotional pain, but it's been like that all my life.
Oh.
It's not like this created, this created a physical challenge where physically it's just, difficult to do things. But I don't feel like I'm in no more emotional pain than I've been throughout my life because it all feels the same. It all feels the same.
It all feels the same.
Really, as a thing, it all feels like one thing.
My gosh. I want you to stay tuned. We're going to go to part 2. I am sitting here with Apryl Brown, this awesome, beautiful woman, has so much joy, has such an incredible testimony, and she doesn't look like anything she's been through. Won't you stay tuned to Jewel Diamond Taylor with the Stay in the Light production. God bless you.
Amen. God bless you.